At turn 1, the hashtag 8 Toyota of Sebastian Buemi would lock up and spear straight into the right rear of the 51 Ferrari, sending it into a full 180-degree spin, where it's stopping on the inside of turn 2, in a disastrous start for Nicholas Nielsen, which left him at the back of the field. Then the 8 Toyota got a 10-second penalty for the contact at the first corner with the 50 Ferrari, giving the team a lot of work to do. Buemi's bad start would worsen though, as he would come across the track and push the 777 D-Station racing car off the circuit into the outside barrier of Ascari, ripping the Aston Martin Vantage to pieces and leaving debris everywhere and the Aston Martin in the gravel trap. This brought out the safety car for the first time in the race, and that was only the first half an hour. On the restart, Conway seemed to understeer Alboreto, giving the 93 Peugeot a run on the main straight as Jensen went to the outside at turn 1, which gave him the inside for turn 2, which gave the Peugeot the race lead. Mike Conway would lose out again in the same spot a lap later, but the 50 Ferrari was able to get the move done on the outside to the entry of turn 1. Buemi would receive a 1-minute penalty for the contact with the 777 Aston Martin, making the race win look quite unobtainable for the Toyota. Then with just over 4 hours to go in the race, the 94 Peugeot came into the pit lane after suffering with pace, and it went straight into the garages with gearbox issues. It was such a shame to see after such a strong start. Moments later, Vector Sport driver Gabriel Ori was fighting Ben Viscal in the 9 Prema when he would lose control mid-corner, and as he corrected, he whacked the Vector Sports car, spinning the car straight across the gravel into the tyre wall at the second Lesmo. Jota, during this safety car period caused by the Vector car going off, had to perform an emergency stop, but then as it exited the pit at turn 2, the car stopped and had to do a full power recycle, losing it a lot of time. Prema's 9 car would receive a 1-minute penalty as a result of the contact, which resulted in the Vector car going out of the race. Then the pit lane offences happened, with 3 hours and 27 minutes to go in the race. That 33 Corvette was reported for speeding in the pit lane. Then with 3 hours and 25 minutes to go in the earlier emergency pit stop, the 38 Jota car had been caught speeding, so had to do a drive-through penalty. Then with 3 hours and 22 minutes to go, the Corvette would do a drive-through penalty as well, as it had been caught out. The 54 F Corsa Ferrari that was leading with Thomas Flora would then stop at turn 3, and then he would get restarted again, but the car would go straight into the pits in a heartbreaking moment for the team. Then with 3 hours to go, the 60 Iron Links Porsche of Matteo Cressoni pushed the 21F Corsa Ferrari of Simone onto the grass to the entry of the second Lesmo, sending him into a spin into the gravel trap on the outside of the corner and out the race. 2 hours and 52 minutes to go in the race, Veron would seal the GTE AM title, well, the position anyway, as he overtook the 85 Iron Dames Porsche of Michel Gatting into the second section of Rante on the inside. Then with an hour and 52 minutes to go, the 99 Porsche would stop on circuit with a power cycling issue. He tried to crawl his way back to the pits, but would stop just before the second Lesmo on an escape road with an hour and 43 minutes to go in the race, with the period between this resulting in a full course yellow. The battle for the lead would come down to the last 43 minutes, with only 8.6 seconds separating the Toyota with new tyres and the Ferrari with new tyres, as they'd both come into the lit pits a lap apart from one another, really giving us a sprint race to the end. Meanwhile, in MP2 it was pain for the 31 Team WRT car. With only 21 minutes to go in the race, the car was scooted into the garage with a terminal issue. It had been fighting for the win most of the race and was in the podium positions. With 18 minutes to go, the 28 Jota was handed the lead when the 36 Alpine came into the pits for a splash and dash right at the end. In the end, the 7 Toyota driven by Kamui Kobayashi was able to extend the lead to 16.5 seconds from the 50 Ferrari, giving Toyota the win in the hypercar class. Jota in their 28 car would win by a lap from the 36 Alpine, and Dempsey Proton would win in GTE AM, and Corvette would finish in 4th, and good enough for them to seal the championship. The bad day for the 8 car wasn't over yet though, as it was demoted to 6th after it received a 50-second penalty for exceeding its power limit during the race. And here are the final standings. The 7 Toyota won by completing 200 laps. The 50 Ferrari was 16.520 seconds behind. And then the 94 Peugeot was 1 minute 18.179 seconds back. Then in LMP2, the 28 Toyota took the win with 193 laps completed. The 36 Alpine Elf team were a lap back from that, with the 41 team WRT car also being a lap behind. In LMGT the 77 Dempsey Proton racing car won with 185 laps completed. The 60 Iron Lynx car was 11.184 seconds behind that, and the GR Racing 86 car was a lap down. I hope you enjoyed that recap of the 6 hours of Monza. If you did, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.